Welcome to the channel Java with Madhes. In this session, we are going to discuss about array list practice questions that will be helpful for Oracle Java Foundation Associate Examination IZ 1Z0-811. First question: what is the result of the following statements? So here we are declaring one. Here we are declaring one array list object name called a value. So whenever you're declaring an array list, this is a syntax you have to follow. Array list is the class name, integer is a data type. Actually here integer is a wrapper type. Wrapper class, we can say it's a wrapper class, because in array list, set, map kind of things, all those data structure kind of things, we are storing the value, we are storing the values as an object. So for example, this 4 5, even though it is an integer, even though it is a primitive data type, we are converting this primitive data type into a object type. Okay, so in order to we are converting that primitive data type into object data type, and that object is stored in a wrapper class called integer. For int primitive data type, the the corresponding wrapper class is called integer. In this way only we can store primitive data types in array list. We can store all primitive data type as a object in array list in terms of wrapper class. Okay, so we have created a array list called values. We have created. Okay, so you're adding the first element to the values. So this 4 will be added, and the index, actually this array list also follow the concept called the index, right? So the element 4 will be added in 0th index. The next element 5 will be added in the first index. Then always the set function is used to update the value. Okay, so in index number, here it will, the set function takes two arguments. One is a index, another one is a value to be updated in that index. So the set function will go to the index 1. Okay, it will go to the index 1. The value stored in index 1 will be replaced with the given value. So here we have mentioned 6, that 6 will be assigned here. 5 got erased. Then remove function takes index as an argument. So here we are passing 0. That means the element in the 0th position should get removed. So the element 4 will be removed. So right now in my array list, I am having only the value 6. Okay, so array list is called dynamic array, right? Whenever we are adding the element or deleting the element, the index will be adjust. The size can be the size can be dynamically, right? So we can dynamically add or delete the elements. So whenever you are adding the deleting the elements, automatically the index also will get adjust. So earlier the index was this 6 was 1. Now the index will be adjusted because only one element will be there, that will be stored in 6. Okay, so that's why we are saying array list is a dynamic one. Okay, so now we are coming to the for each loop. Next line, line number 8. In for each loop, here you have to mention the data type of the object. So here the data type of the object is an integer. So integer is given, and variable you can give anything. It is a user defined one. V is given, colon. Then here you have to mention the object name, array object name. So array object name is value, that is mentioned here. Then we are moving to the next line, system.out.println. So for each loop, what it will do, it will go to the values, no, it will go to the memory location, first element memory location, and that corresponding value will be fetched in the memory location. That value will be assigned to this variable v. So right now the first element is 6, that will be assigned to the variable v. So while printing v, we are getting the value 6. So for this question, the answer is option C, 6. Next question, what is the result of the following? So we have created an array called random, and we have assigned some values also. Then I am applying the binary search on the array. Okay, we are applying binary search on the random array. Just I want to search the element 12 in the array. Actually 12 is present. Okay, but no, uh, if you want to apply binary search on any array means, first the array should be a shorted one. This element should be a shorted one. Then only you can apply. Otherwise you cannot apply binary search on the arrays, right? So the compiler won't give any error message to this code. It will successfully run the code, but the result, expected result, you won't get it. The result is undefined only. So the answer for this question is option D. Next question, we have created one array list, my array list. So for short name, just I'm writing MA stands for my array list. Okay. Then in my array list, while executing this line, the compiler will add the element. Okay, the compiler will add the element 1. Then while executing the next element, we are adding 2. Okay, so the index is 0 and in here the index is 1. Next, we are creating one more array list object that is called your array list. So I'm creating like this, your array list. Okay, so here we are adding the next element. So while executing this line, we are adding 3. Okay, we are adding 3 in the memory location 0. Then we are adding one more element 4 in the memory location 1. Just I'm using 2 letters for easy reference. Okay, F4, it's 4. So it will be stored in the memory location 1. Now we are, what this line tells now, we are adding all the elements of your array list. Okay, we are adding all the elements of this your array list to my array list. Just I want to add here. Okay, add which index, from which index onwards we have to add. So add your array list elements from the first position of my array list. That is the meaning of this line. Okay, so we have to add all the elements of your array list in the location 1. Here I have to add this 2 will be moved to next memory location. So we will see how we are adding that. So at 0th position in my array list, okay, in my array list, 0th position as usual we are having 1 only. Okay, 1 only. But in first position we have to add your array list. So now this 3, no, this 3 will be added here. Then in second location 4 will be added. Okay. Then in third memory location, the element available here, no, in the first memory location of my array list, that will be added. That is 2 will be added here. So this is a final list in my array list. Now we are using for each loop to print the my array list value. Okay. So while executing the for each loop first time, my array list always points to the address of the first element, right? It will go here, and we are referring the content associated with this memory location 1. That value 1 will be now 1 will be assigned to value. Okay, so this 1 will be assigned to the variable value. So you are printing that value. Now 1 will be printed as an answer. Then for each loop will move to the next memory location. In the next memory location, we are having the value 3. That 3 will be assigned to value variable and we are printing that value. So 3 will be printed. 1, 3. For each loop will move to the next memory location. It will come here. In the next memory location, we are having the value 4. That will be assigned to my variable value. Then that will be printed here. So 4 will be printed here. Again the for each loop will move to the next memory location. Now in the next memory location we are having the value 2. So 2 also will be assigned to the value variable and we are printing that value variable here. So 2 will be printed. Then after that there is no element. So for each condition fails, we are coming out from the loop. So now the compiler print these values as a result. 1, 3, 4, 2. So this is the expected answer for this question. Okay. So this is a very interesting question. What is the result of the following? We are creating one list. The list name is called 1. So we have created 1. Okay, so first we are adding the element ABC here. ABC. ABC is added. So we used to say this ABC is called a value, right? And this one is called object. Okay, this one is called object and ABC is called a value. Okay. This value might be stored in index 0, but it should have some memory location. No, in that memory location only it will be stored. For example, assuming that this ABC will be stored in a memory location 5000. Okay. Now we will move to the next line. We are creating one more list object that is called 2. Then we are adding ABC to the 2. Okay. So 2 is a separate object, right? 2 is a separate object. We are creating a separate memory for this object. Then ABC will be stored. It may be stored in index 0. Memory location, let us assume 7000. Okay. Yeah. Now, you're applying the equal to operator to compare the object 1 and 2. So, whenever you are applying the equal to operator between two objects, it will compare the memory location of that object. Okay, it won't take the value, it will just take the memory location. So for one object, what is the memory location? One object will be stored in the memory location. This ABC will be stored in a memory location called 5000. Okay, that 5000 will be taken equal to, then the second two object will be stored in a memory location 7000. So whenever you are applying the equal to operator between two list object, it will compare only the memory address, not the value. Okay. Now tell me, is these two values are same? No, it is not same, right? So it is false. So it is false. So here this condition becomes false. Then this line not at all getting executed. Then we are coming to else if condition. Here Equals method, whenever you are applying the equals method between the two objects, it will compare the value of that object. Okay, now what is the value of this one? This one object is ABC. And what is the value of this two? ABC. So now ABC equal to ABC, correct, right? So this condition becomes true. So this line will get executed. So the compiler will print B as an answer. So option B is the right answer. The cells part not at all getting executed. This is very tricky question. Okay. So we will analyze the code from line number 20. The syntax of line number 20 is perfect. Then we are adding A. Then next we are adding B. And in the line number 23, using set method, I am replacing the value in index 1 by the character C. So this B will be replaced by C. Okay. Then this remove function will remove the value in the index 0. So according to this line, the compiler will remove the value of A. Right now, in our list, we are having only one element C. That will be, it is a dynamic, right? So the index will be adjusted automatically, only one element. So this C will be stored in index 0. That is what happening. Okay. Then in line number 25, we are printing the length of the list. Okay. Actually, you can apply length method. Okay. You can apply length method to string and string builder. You cannot apply to list. If you want to count the number of element in the list means, you have to go with the method called size. So in array list and list, we are using the size method to count the number of elements in the list. Okay. So here the none of the above is the answer, right? We cannot apply length method on list. That is not at all possible. So the option is none of the above. We are creating an array list called Madhes. Okay. So first time I am adding dove in index 0 and peacock in index 1. Okay. So I am printing birds. So you have to remember the array list follows the order of sequence. In whatever the order you are entering the element, no, in that order only all the elements will be stored. So while printing this also, it will print it in the same order. First dove will be printed, then peacock will be printed. So option B is the right answer. Next question. We are creating a array list. Then first time you are adding dove. Okay, dove will be added at memory location 0. Then inside the remove function, you are passing the string as an argument. Okay, so if you pass the string as an argument means what it will do, it will go and check the availability of the element. So if crow is there, it will return true. If crow is not there, it will return false. So crow is not there in our list because we are having only dove in our list. So this entire statement will return false. That will be printed. So option B is a right answer. Next question. Which of the following statement is true about the following code? So we have created a list, and in the list, first I'm adding the first element 20 will be 10 will be added. 10 will be added in the index 0. The next I'm adding 20. Here we are adding 20. that will be added in index 1. Then in set, no, using the set function, I am updating the value at index 1. So what will be updated? This 20 will be replaced by 30. Earlier it was 10 here, right? Now we are printing the entire list. So what are the elements we are having now on our list? This 10 and 20. Sorry, 10 and 30. These two will be printed. So it prints 10 and 30. That is the answer. Option A is the answer. Okay, what happens when executing this code? We are creating birds. Then first time I am adding dove in that. Okay, we have added dove. Then in the first position, the set function is used to update the element. Okay, so please remember, if the element is available in that index, then only the set function can work. If there is no element, if there is no particular index exist in that array list, means it does not exist, means we cannot apply the set operation on that list. So here in 0th position we have added dove, and I am trying to, in one, no, there is no one index available in our array list, right? So here I am trying to update, I am trying to set or update the value in index 1 which is not available to me, right? Which is not available in the array list. So if that index is not available in your list, means the compiler will throw index out of bounds exception. So option B is a right answer. We have to choose the correct output. That is the next question. List we have created, one list object, and we have added hello. Okay, so get function, no, get function is always used to get the value in that particular index. So we are passing the index as an argument in get function. So in index 0 we are having hello, that will be printed. Option A is the answer, hello. Next question. So we have created a list called birds. So first time I'm checking is empty. Is empty means if the list is empty function always returns true if the list is empty. If the list is empty means it will return 2. Then is empty function returns false if the list is not empty. If some values are there, then it will return false. That is the task of is empty function. According to this line, right now we don't have any element in our list. So this is empty function will print true. And here in this line we are adding one element to the birds list. Now I am applying is empty condition. Now I am invoking is empty method on object birds object. So now we are having one element in our list. So this empty function will return false. So the answer is option A, true, false. This is one tricky question. I used to love this question. So we have created an array list called AL. Okay, AL is there. Then in the next line, we have added 1 to this AL list. So we have added 1 at the location, at the index 0. Then I am adding 10 to the next memory location or next index, right? So it will be added in the next index 1. Then here remove, no. Please understand, you are not removing 1. Okay. You are going to remove the element that is present in the index 1. So we are going to remove the element that is present in index 1. So 10 will get removed. Okay. Then now we are printing the value AL. So what it will print? Only one element we are having in our array list, that is 1, that is getting printed. Option B is a right answer. This is very simple question. So we are created a array list called AL. First time we are adding the element 99, and next we are adding the element 10. In the next line we are adding the element 20. Now you're applying the sort method on this AL. So we are applying the sort method on this AL. So this sort method is available in a collection framework. So that's why we are using this class here, collections. Okay. Now if I sort this, then what I will get? 10, 20, 99. After sorting, this will be our answer. So the answer is 10, 20, 99. Option B is the answer. Which method is used to remove all the elements from an array list? So the option is clear function. Clear function is used to remove all the elements from the array list. People will wrongly choose no, this remove all function. That is wrong. Okay. So clear, we are having only one function in array list, that is called clear. Sorry, remove, not remove all. So if you want to remove all the elements, you have to use clear function only. So this is correct. Please never choose this. The result of this, what is the result? Next question. So in order to give more clarity on remove method, just I want to take you to the online compiler. Just we will run all those code here. Okay. So I copy pasted the same code here. Just we will run this program and see what the compiler is throwing. So see, the compiler doesn't know what is array list because I did not include the package or class that contains the definition of the array list, right? So the array list is available in a package called import util package. So import java dot util, then you have to directly include the class name here, array list colon. Now I am running the same code. We are getting the answer is empty. Okay. So see, if you are passing the index, okay, what will happen whenever you are passing the index as a value? For example, 0, no? So whenever you are passing the integer value as a result, integer value as an argument to the remove function means it will go and remove the element in that particular index. Okay. So now we will run this. So it is removed that element while printing that weights, no element is there. So it is printing the empty element. Other than integer, if you are passing any value, for example, if I am passing 50.5, means what it will do, it will, other than integer value you are passing, no, so we have passed a float value, right? So it will remove that particular value. It will go to that memory location and search for that value. If it is available, then it will remove it. It's removing, right? So in case if I am applying passing the string as an argument in my remove function means, again it will check for the content in that list, whether 50.50 string is available in the list or not. It will check like that. If it is available, then it will remove it. Otherwise, what it will do, it will return false. Okay. See, in our list, this 50.50 is a string. Right now, it is not a floating point value because I have given this value inside the double quotes, right? Now, this 50.5 is a string value, not an integer value. Okay. So, if you are passing integer value means it will go and check in our array list whether this list contains an floating point string value or not. Now this is not a string value, this is a float value, right? What we are having in our list is a float value. So Now this remove function, no, it won't remove anything. Okay, don't remove anything. The content will be remain same in the list. So that's why while printing this, I am getting 50.5 as an answer. So three things we have to remember about remove function. So inside the remove function, if you are passing the integer value means what it will do. For example, the integer value, no, I'm mentioning for example, for integer value, consider the exam value is 5. 5 means it will go to the index 5. Okay, it will go to the index 5. For example, I am passing 5 here. So if you passing integer value means that will be considered as a index. The element in that index will be removed. Okay, in the same remove function, if you are passing other values, okay, other than integer value, for example, if you are passing double or float value means it will go and remove that value directly. For example, 45.5 means it will go and check whether the 45.5 is available in the memory location, and it will remove that value. Okay, it will delete that value. The same remove function, if you are passing the string value means, okay, if you are passing a string value means, so string always we are using, we are representing within a double quotes, right? So if you are passing string value means it will remove that string value from the memory location. So if it is there, it will returns true. If it is not there, it will return false. Okay, so no changes will be done on the list. So now according to our value, we have checked the presence of 50.5 string value that is not available in our list. Okay. Now I'm instead of double, now I am creating a string. Then here we are just we'll add and check. Just we are adding the string ABC, and here also I am passing the value ABC. Okay. Empty string is displayed because the content we are passing here, no, the string value, that string value is matched with our list. This value is there, so our remove function removes this value. Okay, in case if I am passing some other value like xyz, then there is no element, right? There is no xyz element, so this remove function won't remove any element, so it is simply printing ABC. That is the answer. I hope you understand. Okay, so while if remove function is given, you have to carefully check the argument is integer or the argument is float or the argument is string or the argument is double. If you pass integer, it is considered as a index value. The particular element in that index will be removed. If you are passing string value or double value means it will go and check the presence of that value. If it is available, it will remove that. If it is not available, the remove function won't work. This is what I want to convey to you. Next question, which loop is not used to which loop is not used to traverse an array list? So we can use for loop, while loop, do while loop. Even we can use for each loop also, or we will say enhanced for loop also. So we can apply all the loops to traverse an array list. Okay. So here the option is D, none of the above. But if you want to reverse the array, if you want to print the array in array list in reverse order means all loops will be applicable except the for each loop. We cannot apply for each loop to do reverse operation on the array. Okay, so for each we cannot use it. Okay, so we have created a list. Okay, and the list name is called batch. First time you're adding dow, then the index will be 0. List always accepts the duplicate element also. Okay, so while learning the data structure, we should remember whether the particular data structure will accept the duplicate element or not, how it is storing the element, in what order it will store the element, whether it will follow the ordered sequence or unordered sequence. So those things we have to remember. So list always allows the duplicate elements also. So whenever your set won't allow duplicate elements, okay, list will allow duplicate elements. While executing this line, the compiler will add this dow to the next index 1. Now, the size function, yeah, this function is correct because always we have to use the size function to count the number of elements in the array list. So the total size is 2. That is, answer is option B. Next question. Here we are creating an array list called AL. Then I am printing the size of the array. There is no element, right? So it will print 0. Next question. What is true about array list? It is synchronized. No, array list is not synchronized. It allows primitive types directly. No, we are using the wrapper classes, right? In order to store the primitive data type into array list, first we are converting that primitive data type into object. Okay, so that object only we are storing in a wrapper class, right? So this statement is correct, wrong. It resizes dynamically. Yeah, array list is called a dynamic array. So option C is a right answer. And option D, it does not allow duplicates. No, that is wrong. Always the array list allows the duplicate element also. So the option is C. Which method returns the number of elements in an array list? So the number of elements, size method is used to return the number of elements in the array list. Where we can apply length, you can apply this length method in string and string builder. String and string builder. So in both cases you can apply length function. So in order to count the number of elements in array, we are using the uh, we are using a variable, or we can say we are using a keyword called length. Okay, so in array we are using only the length, not a function. Okay, so in array list we are using size function, string and string buffer we are using length function, and in array we are using a keyword, or you can say a word called a length. Count and get size we are not using here. What does this code to do? So we are created one list 1 and another list 2. 1 equals true. So this equals method always checks the content of the object. Okay. The option is 1 equals true. Yeah, both are empty, right? Nothing is there. So the option is true. What is the effect of calling collections fill on a list? So delete all elements? No. Fill elements is used to fill the element. It is not deleting the element. Adding new elements? No. If already elements are there, then that is also filled, right? Then option C is the right answer. It replaces all the elements with the specific value. Which of the following is true about generics in array list? what the generics will do na, actually the generic concept, always you have to correlate the generic concept with wrapper class. So we are having a lot of data structures as a class in Java, but for all data structure we have created as a class. All data structures are created as a class in Java. So whatever the value I want to add, no, I can add those values as a object. For example, even though if I want to store integer, that is a primitive data type, I cannot store directly. I have to convert that integer into a corresponding wrapper data type. Okay, wrapper type. That means I am converting that integer value into an object type. That object will be stored in wrapper classes. So that concept, the process of converting the primitive data type into a object value that will be stored in wrapper class, no, that entire process is called a generics. And if you want to display that value back to the user means, again you have to convert that object in the wrapper class to primitive value. That primitive value only displayed, right? So reverse process also happening. The entire concept comes under generics. So generics are optional. If you go with array list, then only you are using generics, right? Otherwise, it is not necessary to use it. So this statement is correct. Generics are mandatory. No, it is not mandatory. Generics restrict only to primitive types. No, we are storing the primitive as a object type. This is wrong. Then option D is says that generic increases this list size. No, that is not a duty of generics, right? So it is also false. So option A is a right answer. How do you reverse an array list? The array list name is called AL. So we have a function called reverse in collections framework. So collections dot reverse AL. That is a right answer. Option B is a right answer. Which is the output of the following code? So we have created a array list called birds. Then initially we are adding dove. Then next we are adding sparrow. Then next we are adding eagle. Okay. So get function is used to get the element in the index. So here in get function you are always passing the index as a argument. So it will go to the first element. So dove will be stored in 0, sparrow will be in first index, eagle will be in second index. So this get function retrieves this element sparrow and that will get printed. So the answer is option B. What is the output? So we are created an array list called AL. First you are adding the element 10, then 20, then 30. Okay. So I also will add here because I want to explain clearly. So we are adding 10, 20, then 30. So a 10 will be 0 in index 0, 20 will be in index 1, 30 will be in index 2. So next we are creating an iterator. Actually, iterator is used to traverse the array list. Okay, so in order to traverse the array list, we are using for loop, while loop, do while loop. Other than that, we can use iterator also to traverse the list. That is the purpose of iterator. So iterator is a class name. Okay, then integer is a data type of that array list, because I'm going to create an iterator for this AL. So the data type of this AL array list is integer. So that data type also should be given here, because I'm going to create a separate iterator for this AL object, array list object. Then IT is a iterator name we are giving. Okay. Then for what I have to create an iterator for the object AL. So iterator is a function. Now we have successfully created iterator for this object AL. Okay. So always this syntax is common. These three lines are common. Only you have to change the data type according to the data type of the array list. And here you have to change the name of the object. And this IT, no, you are creating a iterator variable name. That's up to you. Then in order to traverse the elements, okay, you have to use the while loop. In iterator, always iterator comes along with while loop only. So while, what object we have created here? We have created it. That is my iterator object name. This has next function, no, will go to the next memory location. If element is present, if any element is present in the next memory location, it returns true. If there is no element, means it will return false. Okay, that is the duty of has next function. Okay, then okay, we are executing the for while loop at first time. Now this has next function will move to the first memory location, and we are having the value uh, 10. So because of that, this hasnet function returns true. Okay, now the while loop becomes true. So we are coming to this line and we are executing this line. Okay, this next function is to read the content in that memory location, right? So what content we are having? 10. So 10 will be printed here. So first it will print 10. Then has again we are moving to while loop. Then this has next function will move to the next memory location. So this is our next memory location. One value will be here, right? So it returns true. So now while condition is true, then we are executing this system.out.println next. So what the next function will do? It will go and fetch the value in that memory location. So 20 will be fetched here, and because of that system.out.println, it is getting printed. Next, again we are moving to the while loop. One more time we are executing the while loop. Now this has next function will move to the next memory location. Okay, here some content is there, so it will return true, right? So while loop is true now. So because of that, we are executing the next statement, system.out.println. So next function is taking the value from there. So 30 will be taken from the memory. 30 is printed. 10, 20, 30 is printed. Then the has next function will move to the next memory location. Nothing is here, right? So it will return false. So because of that, now the while loop becomes false. So we are coming out from the while loop. So what is the final answer? 10, 20, 30 will be printed. Option B is the right answer. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe my channel to get more coding questions. Please subscribe my channel to practice more coding questions.